We're broadcasting live from our Pocoso studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamu and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, good evening to you, Zain, and thanks to our viewers for joining us on tonight's edition of the main news. My name is Joyce Mabika. Susan Masona is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Sibogele Maposa will be joining us from our Montrose studios. But we kick off this bulletin with the headlines.
Successful rehabilitation of the Chirundu border post is set to elevate Zimbabwe into Southern Africa's modern transport gateway.
In business, local contractors commend the Second Republic for having confidence in their capacity to carry out major national projects.
And in sport, appointment of a substantive Warriors coach now imminent after the first round of interviews were held this week.
And now for the news in detail. The Chirundu border post is set to be transformed into a modern one-stop border post following the approval of a landmark joint venture between government and the Chirundu Border Consortium. This emerged during Tuesday's post-cabinet media briefing in Harare.
Following the successful rehabilitation of the Beitbridge border posts in 2022, another signature infrastructure project is on the cards and set to elevate Zimbabwe into Southern Africa's modern transport gateway. This comes after the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development has partnered the Chirundu Border Consortium in a build, operate and transfer agreement to develop the port of entry into a one-stop border post. This was announced by the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Muswere, during this Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
The project will be implemented under the build, operate, own and transfer model over a period of 20 years. And according to the agreement, the Chirundu Border Consortium is a Zimbabwean registered company which will be responsible for the following: the renovating of the border post which is in existence, including the buildings and the infrastructure, the construction of new buildings, weighbridges, roads and parking lots, enhancing the improvement and integrating the information management system, the ICT systems, into the border post operations, improving traffic processing systems and constructing staff housing. In line with the government policy of promoting a private sector-led economy, the Chirundu Border Consortium will fully provide the required funds to cover the estimated project cost to the tune of United States dollars 66.8 million.
The government's irrigation development roadmap also took center stage as plans to harness climate-proof agriculture were outlined towards sustainable national food security.
We have 10.6 billion cubic meters of water in 10,600 dams, and capable of irrigating 2.2 million hectares, and yet only 237,000 hectares is developed for irrigation, 10%. In the First Republic, we constructed a dam and we commemorated and commissioned the dam. But it wasn't an investment case. In the Second Republic, we said the dam is not the project, but what the water is intended to do, which with us change means the dam is an economy.
A cabinet also announced the preparations for this year's National Heroes and Defense Forces Day commemorations.
The National Heroes Day will be commemorated on the 12th of August 2024 at the National Heroes Eka in Harare, with provinces simultaneously holding commemorations in their respective jurisdictions. The Defense Forces Day will be celebrated on the 13th of August 2024 at Rufaro Stadium in Harare under the theme Guaranteeing a Conducive Environment for the Attainment of Vision 2030. Prior to this, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces will carry out community assistance projects from the 5th to the 9th of August 2024, and the completed projects will be handed over to the communities. The Zimbabwe Defense Forces will also carry out a week-long medical outreach, during which they will offer free consultations and treatment for minor ailments. Preparations for this event are also at an advanced stage.
The Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Professor Mthuli Ncube, also tabled the mid-term policy review to Cabinet, which is set to present to the National Assembly this Thursday. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Construction of the 80 million United States dollar Africa Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank Africa Trade Center and regional office is on course, with the project expected to be completed by November next year.
The regional banker started construction works in 2022 in a move described as a show of confidence in Zimbabwe's conducive business environment. A visit by the ZBC News crew to the site this Tuesday reviewed work in progress ahead of the November 2025 deadline. The facility, which will also be a green building in line with global standards, is being constructed in an expansive area in Harare. Afreximbank Group Senior Executive Vice President Mr. Dennis Denya revealed that the facility will also have a trade center, world-class hotel, major conference center, a shopping mall, and a trade incubation center for startups.
We are building it in order to increase access to trade services for the SADC region as a whole. So it will have a hotel within it. It will also have a conference center and exhibition center and offices to rent and office space for long-term rentals as well.
The bank, which has also emerged as an all-weather partner to the economy, has awarded local contractors for the huge part of the construction works.
Afreximbank has always had a commitment to Zimbabwe. If you remember, our second annual general meeting was held here in Harare, and the Zimbabwean office was the first branch that Afreximbank established, even before Abuja. So our commitment to Zimbabwe has been very strong.
The construction of the facility is also in line with the National Development Strategy 1 aspirations of a private sector-led infrastructure development towards achieving positive yearly economic growth rates. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The government of Zimbabwe is set to second more teachers to Rwanda under the educational personnel and expertise bilateral arrangement between the two countries.
The outstanding performance of Zimbabwean teachers seconded to Rwanda has charmed the Rwandan government, prompting a request for more teaching staff. This came to the fore when the Joint Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Foreign Affairs and International Trade in Primary and Secondary Education deliberated on the agreement on exchange of educational personnel and expertise between Zimbabwe and Rwanda at the new Parliament building in Mount Hamden this Tuesday.
We are hoping to get into a second phase, recruitment, yema teacher. Qatar, after the World Cup, they've indicated that they want personnel from Zimbabwe. We are still pursuing South Africa, and just on Friday, I was talking to Ambassador Manzo. The British government has also come forward to request for a formal arrangement with Zimbabwe.
Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Industry and Commerce received oral evidence from Sugarcane Farmers Association, sugar millers and refiners on challenges affecting the sugar industry.
Farmers are not able to get the inputs on time. They are not able to get herbicides, to get fertilizers, and this affects production. The 120 ton per hectare can never be achieved if there is no funding. I was in Brazil last year, where we toured their sugar value chain system, and we noted that the farmers, sugarcane farmers in Brazil, they have got a bank specifically for sugarcane farmers.
Matambudziko anomurimi weshuga kunzvimbo yekuchiredzi mavhanika marimi wekumupwasini vane matambudziko maviri akakura chaizvo. Rokutanga nderemvura, repiri nderemiro. Kana mukatarira kwavanoisa zvinhu zvavo vanoisa 90 kilometers away, 70 kilometers away from the mill. Asi hectarage yavo inojustifya kuti vave nemiro.
The committee pledged to assist farmers to boost sugarcane production.
We will find time to visit the farms and try to understand more, and we hope to work together to find a solution to make this industry the biggest in Southern Africa.
Government is providing support to sugarcane farmers through initiatives such as subsidized inputs, irrigation schemes and extension services to enhance productivity and sustainability. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Mount Hampden.
A business delegation from the Russian Federation is in the country to explore investment opportunities in the energy sector.
In 2020, government launched the National Renewable Energy Policy with the aim of guiding the country to increase renewable energy capacity by 2030. It is with this in mind that government is engaging clean energy producers to push the drive. A Russian delegation, which is in the country on an investment drive, met with energy producers and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade to discuss available opportunities.
We look forward to similar involvements with yourselves, with our companies, and I hope you'll find enough time to visit more companies which may benefit from your experience and the experience of your organization.
The Russian delegation says it is exploring ways to penetrate the Zimbabwean energy market.
So we are starting to discuss the possibility of at first supplying the panels here and then maybe creating the manufacturing facility here. If the demand for solar here is big enough, so we can also discuss this possibility. And we also had good meeting with the Minister of Mining because we're also discussing now the possibility of taking part in one of the mining projects here.
ZESA Holdings is equally excited about the project, with the company's general manager, stakeholder relations, Dr. George Manyaya, saying it is a result of President Emerson Mnangagwa's recent visit to Russia.
Following the visit by His Excellency Dr. Edi Mnangagwa to St. Petersburg, Russia, he then invited the company to come and explore possible ways and opportunities for investing in Zimbabwe, especially in energy. The group has a diversified portfolio of projects. Most of them also are in the energy sector.
The world has been shifting towards the green energy as part of efforts to mitigate the negative effects of climate change. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Government is pleased with SADC summit preparations, with the Geopomona waste-to-energy project set to showcase groundbreaking achievements and innovative solutions to visiting dignitaries from the region.
As Harare gears up to host the 44th SADC Summit, Geopomona Waste Management Private Limited is poised to take center stage, showing its remarkable developments to visiting delegates. With its cutting-edge waste-to-energy plants, modern waste management facilities, modern recreational facilities, and water treatment plants, Geopomona is revolutionizing waste management. Harare Metropolitan Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Charles Tawengwa, toured the facility this Tuesday and highlighted its significance in regional growth.
Here we are witnessing integrated waste management. Before Geopomona was here, we remember that this was a dumping site. This was a haven of flies, crows, name it. All the foul smells you wanted in Harare were emanating from here. But here we are now. We have recreational facilities. We are expecting restaurants to be up and about very soon.
Geopomona Chief Executive Officer Dr. Dilish Nguwaya highlighted that the facility is built to showcase the country's impressive strides in waste management.
The first of its kind in Southern Africa to have waste-to-energy plant. So we have something to showcase to the heads of state who are coming here on the 18th of August to see this international waste management model. Geopomona is going to replicate this to other cities, regional, international.
The Geopomona Waste to Energy project is one of the places set to make a lasting impression during the regional summit, inspiring a new era of collaboration and progress across SADC.
Mashonaland West Province has been earmarked to play a trade facilitating role for the SADC region, tapping into its competitive advantage of a viable road and railway network.
The forthcoming SADC Industrialization Week, which will run from the 28th of July to the 2nd of August, is being held on the back of several development success stories in Mashonaland West Province, with government's devolution program playing a central role. Some of the key projects achieved through devolution funds include the construction of 50 new clinics and rehabilitation of existing ones, construction of at least 40 classroom blocks, and procurement of earth-moving equipment. Giving an insight into the progress made to date, the Minister of State for Mashonaland West Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo, spoke on the province's trade facilitating role in the region.
Mashonaland West has the shortest link to the northern corridor. That means the markets to the Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia. And what does it mean as a corridor? It means we have what it takes for us to be a corridor for development, a corridor for value addition. We know Zimbabwe and Zambia, they grow a lot of cereals. And most of those we are not, if you look like in my province of Mashonaland West, we don't even have a mining, a milling company to process any of the produces within. And we also want the market in Zambia and also the markets in Tanzania. So there's a program that's been mooted, or it's beyond mooting, because right now they are going to be carrying out a feasibility study.
Minister Chombo said under the Second Republic, Mashonaland West has managed to revive and establish new industries in the mining, agricultural and manufacturing sectors.
We have zinc plants, platinum, although the prices have been going down of late, but we can see that there's another giant coming up within the platinum group of companies. That's Caro Resources, right there in Chegutu. That's building a very huge plant and is going to create thousands and thousands of jobs.
Meanwhile, the SADC Industrialization Week is also expected to propel tourism opportunities in the province, particularly increased visits to Kariba Dam, which also generates electricity for the nation. The province is also contributing power to the national grid through the 25-megawatt solar plant in Nyabira. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinoi.
The Commission of Inquiry into the governance of the Harare City Council has exposed loopholes in the local authority's property lease management system.
Corruption and poor management of council properties are a long-standing issue for the Harare City Council. During submissions at the Commission of Inquiry into the governance of the Harare City Council this Tuesday, Human Rights Commission Chairperson Honorable Jesma Jome, a resident of Maburane, gave stunning revelations of a shoddy property lease agreement between Harare City Council and Sherwood Golf Club owners.
Sherwood Golf Club, that is the premises, is, how can I say, leased or run by Harare City Council. What is worrying is that this is a public amenity. It's a community facility. Harare City Council leases this property out. And our question was, who is Harare City Council leasing this property to? Is it leasing it to Sherwood Golf Club as a club, because there doesn't seem to be a club? Or is it leasing it to a person called Mr. Briggs Bomber, who is a private individual to run a business, and who's also actually causing us a lot of problems? So what we also did as a committee, we also then went to Rowan Martin building, to the Estates Department, because we demanded to see the lease that that was in existence, that was allowing these things to happen. We were told by the Estates Department that they could not find the file, that the file with the lease agreement for Sherwood Golf Club was missing.
It also emerged that a Citizens Coalition for Change councillor from Mavugo Ward 21 is allegedly subletting a former Rufaro marketing beer hall, collecting money for his personal use.
Zebra Island ndofunga pamwe 4 years ndichibhadhara rent election yakudya anova akansela parizvinhu ward 21 aibhadhara 300 US pamwedzi.
The Commission of Inquiry into the governance of the Harare City Council is being chaired by retired High Court Judge Justice Matthews Cheda. Festus Mgonguru says ZBC News, Harare.
The ZANU-PF Chief Whip, Honorable Pupuraito Garepi, says there will be a caucus meeting for the party's legislators and senators tomorrow at the ZANU-PF headquarters in Harare at 08:30 hours. He urged all members to attend and to be punctual. As she forges ahead with her drive to cater for the welfare of the elderly and other vulnerable groups, the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa this Tuesday reached out to the needy in Bulawayo, Matabeleland South and Matabeleland North provinces with blankets, winter wear and groceries.
To spread love and inculcate a sense of responsibility for the needy, the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa extended her hand to the elderly, people with disabilities, child-headed families and orphans from Bulawayo, Matabeleland South and Matabeleland North provinces with an assortment of groceries, blankets and winter wear this Tuesday. The elderly and other vulnerable groups often endure loneliness and have no one to fend for them and attend to their daily needs. Against this background, Ame Mnangagwa always stresses that it is critical to ensure that the elderly are properly looked after. Cognizant of the harsh winter, Dr. Mnangagwa distributed blankets and winter jackets to vulnerable groups around the country. It was all smiles when Ame Mnangagwa personally distributed blankets and groceries to the elderly, orphans, people with disabilities and child-headed families who thronged United College of Education for the First Lady's Blankets Drive program. The food items distributed include mealie meal, rice, sugar beans, cooking oil, sugar, juice, tea, bath and washing soaps. The Mother of the Nation in her address underscored the need to instill moral values to youngsters and to equip them to become agents of positive change. The Mother of the Nation in her address underscored the need to instill good moral values to youngsters and to equip them to become agents of positive change. She also implored elders to condemn gender-based violence and child sexual exploitation, which undermine the dignity of women and children.
As we extend our hands in support to those in need, let us also address the pressing issues that continue to nudge our society. Gender-based violence, child marriages, drug and substance abuse, and other forms of vices must be condemned in the strongest possible terms. We must save and strive to create a society where every individual, regardless of gender, age, or background, is treated with respect and dignity. Furthermore, the preservation of our cultural heritage is of utmost importance. Our traditions, customs, and beliefs are what define us as a people. It is essential that we cherish and protect our cultural identity, passing it down to future generations as a source of strength and pride. Our cultural values serve as a guiding light, instilling in us a sense of belonging, pride, and unity. Let us celebrate our diverse customs, languages, and rituals, recognizing the unique contributions of each community to the tapestry of our nation.
Dr. Mnangagwa also reiterated the need for women to be dignified and exemplary in the way they speak, dress, and behave, since children look up to them. In an interactive session, Amai Mnangagwa inquired from the elderly women how they used to live back then. The women poured their hearts out, bemoaning some of the vices being perpetrated by youngsters.
Sasithi singabonakala sikhamba lo mfana ukwazi ukuthi namuhla sithwala ngawo usizi. Njengowami umama wayesirithi sokuthi nxa wawusiya emfuleni wayekhafulela amathe phansi. Athi ngesikhathi esinje ngifunula. Babuye njalo banatha kulokhu ngamatshwala kwabo lokhu abakunathayo. Kunzima mama ngikwazi ukuthi kungayezwa fulani bani ukuthi lowo tshwala kungabi khona eZimbabwe.
Arts Ensemble IASA provided edutainment on the challenges faced by widows. Dr. Mnangagwa paid tribute to IASA for a play that chronicles challenges that are faced by widows and orphans. She added that she will rope in the services of the Master of the High Court and his team to come and empower widows with knowledge, especially on inheritance issues. Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, Honorable Judith Ncube, paid tribute to Amai for traversing the length and breadth of the country, embarking on various projects in which she is leaving no one behind.
Your Excellency, today's program speaks volumes about your commitment to our community and your compassion to those who are less fortunate.
Minister of Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matabeleland and South Province, Comrade Evelyn Dlovu, commended Amai for being a champion of empowerment who has been addressing the needs of the vulnerable even prior to her being the First Lady, and for spearheading cultural renaissance through programs like Nangagwa Taikliba.
Our First Lady is a champion of the needs of the vulnerable society. Even prior to her becoming the First Lady, she had footprints demonstrating a passion for the needs of the vulnerable.
Besides extending a hand to the disadvantaged members of the community, Dr. Mnangagwa put smiles on the faces of everyone who attended the program, as they were also given mealie meal. Through the First Lady's humanitarian arm, the Angel of Hope Foundation, the elderly, child-aided families and people with disabilities across the country have benefited from various initiatives by the First Lady. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
These and more stories are available on our website. You can visit www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you can get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin, in business news, local contractors commend the Second Republic for having confidence in their capacity to carry out major national projects.
And in sport, appointment of a substantive Warriors coach now imminent after the first round of interviews were held this week. The main news takes a break. We'll be back with you shortly.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show. It's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible. With denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins, it caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Upgrade to Compact for $29 per month to get all the Premier League football action.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The ZANU-PF Youth League has called for all party members, especially elders, to use the right platforms and channels when speaking on succession and other internal party issues.
In an interview with ZBC News this Tuesday, the ZANU-PF Youth League political commissar, Comrade Taurai Kandisha, says as youth, they expect elders within the party to lead by example and stop discussing internal party issues such as succession with the media, as this is unprocedural and goes against party dictates.
We don't discuss succession with the media in ZANU-PF. They are laid out procedures. In fact, in ZANU-PF, almost everything that we do is procedural. We have the constitution of the party, we have the code of conduct, and we have the ideology of the party ZANU-PF. So everything that is done in ZANU-PF must be found within the four corners of the ideology. The ideology is then supported by the constitution of the party. So this is not an issue where one can just be seen or be heard out there discussing about it. That's unprocedural. As young persons in ZANU-PF, we are happy with the unity, and we are beneficiaries of the unity that is existing within our party. You see, the president is doing something there, the vice president is sent to represent the president there, the other vice president is there, the minister is there, political bureau members are being assigned. That means there is unity in the party.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa last month announced that he will respect the party and country's constitutions by stepping down at the end of his second term in 2028. But there have been recommendations coming from various provinces for the president to avail himself until 2030 so that he presides over the attainment of Vision 2030. The development has also seen some senior party members using the media to air out their views on the issue, something political analyst Mr. Takuzwa Gambiza believes should be resolved internally.
So the president, in his statement in Mutare, he actually mentioned that the party has a procedure, which he said he came into office through that same procedure where there was an elective congress at the ZANU-PF level, an elective congress which happens after every 5 years. And President Mnangagwa's second tenure in office came in through the Congress of 2022. The ZANU-PF Congress of 2022, where President Mnangagwa was re-elected as the party president and also as the party presidential candidate, which he then ran in 2023. So that same procedure, which is enshrined in the ZANU-PF constitution, is very clear that an elective Congress should happen in 2027, where ZANU-PF will choose another leader to lead the party and also become the presidential candidate for ZANU-PF come 2028 election. So these are procedures that are clear and they are clearly laid down in the ZANU-PF constitution.
Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF Youth League has also come in full support of Comrade Mnangagwa's leadership as he assumes the SADC chairmanship next month.
For now, we are focusing on the development that the president is doing. For now, we are happy that the President Emmerson Mnangagwa is the incoming chairperson of SADC.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has led the country into an unprecedented infrastructure development mode as Zimbabwe seeks to attain an upper middle income society by 2030. Wellington Makwanese, ZBC News, Harare.
In other news, a unique art of tapestry being crafted by former female inmates is placing Zimbabwe's knitting talent on the global market. Let's take a look.
A talent hidden for many years, yet outstandingly monumental. These women are carving their own niche in the arts sector. Every stitch is done with precision to tell a story loaded with passion and sheer determination to succeed after spending time behind bars as prisoners.
Patanga project zvakandisimudzira kupinza vana chikoro. Vana vangu vese tu vakatopedza chikoro ndasara nehwana asari kuenda kuchikoro. Ndikakwanisawo kumindisa takosi.
They have conquered life challenges and now they've set their sight on conquering the world through their skill.
Program yakatotipa hope nokuti ndiritori mukadzi aitofunga kuti ndikabuda iri nahayi ndofunga ndikutenda usouth ndofunga ndokunika kunekugare ruri nani. Ndakwanisa kutenga kasitendi kangu kumusha ndoti zvakarema nomhanya uchidini kuchenda. Kwanisawo kuzvibhadharira rendi yangu.
Theirs are stories of the greatest blessing that can be given to any person, a chance to repent. Gogo Olive, an arts and crafts center in Mutare, has provided these women a lifeline to reintegrate into society through positive impact.
The ladies have managed to go back to their family. Reunification was so easy, and now they've managed to have work, and they are now able to take care of their families.
Together, they now carry the beacon of hope for many women who may also suffer the same setbacks they endured through years of incarceration. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News.
We're now joined by Sibukile Maposa from our Montrose studios to give us more updates. Sibukile, it's a lovely evening to you and it's over to you.
Well, it is a very good evening and thank you very much, Zain. We now take a look at the news from this end. The need for new equipment and harnessing new technology has been cited as key to the successful recapitalization of the National Railways of Zimbabwe.
The Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Transport and Infrastructure Development's recent visit to the NRZ's facilities in Hwange brought to the fore the need to modernize the parastatals equipment as part of its recapitalization drive. The abundant coal in the area has also been cited as a low-hanging fruit which the NRZ can tap into. There is, however, a reluctance by local coal mining companies to take up the offer to make use of rail transportation services.
We engaged Dinson, we engaged Afroshin over the issue of movement of their coal and other products, including limestone, and they don't seem to be very keen to discuss with us the issue of the tariffs and everything.
The majority of the miners now that have come through as Chinese, they use road mostly. They've really affected us very much because we had allocated like over 700 wagons specifically for the coal yard. That when you hear in our language, we'll say to zone, wagons empties to zone. Zone is Hwange.
Parliament believes the parastatal has huge potential if it is adequately capitalized.
NRZ has a potential to start operations at a more competitive level because they have the infrastructure. It is there. But what is not there is their equipment is old. Their technology is still old. So they need recapitalization.
Economists contend that besides saving road infrastructure, rail transportation is also affordable and efficient, while also helping to channel more business to the national rail carrier, a key player in rail transportation locally and in the SADC region. Mshomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Hwange.
The Second Republic continues to deliver on its promise of leaving no one and no place behind, with once marginalized communities benefiting under the presidential borehole sinking program.
As we were driving to the citrus plantations in Beitbridge West, our eyes were drawn to a community celebration event. This is a community that since independence has been drinking unsafe water from Umzingwane and Mchavez rivers. To those who have lived their entire lives in the community, like Gogo Lilian Moyo, the Second Republic has lived up to its billing.
Rarikoka madhi utambula richinwa madhi mulamboni richisuka richifarwa vurwadze sibhadhera richinwa madhi nadzidongi nadzikholomo nadzitsipuka dzedzinonwa vusiku richinwa nadzo so rivopoliwa ngamanda rileviwa ngamanda zulwane ngauri na zvino ritokwanisa voulima miroho
rotakala ngamanda nga uva na bidzi na bidzi ine yabvaho madhi uri government yavore yotakadza ngamanda rovopolwa lumwe uri vathu vote vadonwa madhi avudi
ari do rikovona ri do phumelela zwa chikhala chihulwane ri kha ḓi ka maḓi majojoni enepo rine ri na dzingade rikovona ri zwino ri do ita na dzingade.
The village head, Mr. Aifeli Mdau, is a happy man and envisages a transformed community.
Phanda yavhuḓi kha village ine ya Chabeta zombofolola ndivo tova muthu ana vofolowa zwiṅwevho kana no ita zwezwi.
The Chabeta Presidential Borehole project is part of the 6 already completed projects in the Gwanda Chitaudze constituency.
Ndikozvibona uri ndingoho zvezvayamba Mnangagwa uri arisi muthu murahu rikuya phanda rothe ndingoho ngauri bulege yanga iyi ya Malatanzva ndi bulege iva isina kana wele zvayo zvonobata kura zvinova nchaka chimo chela chakale zvinova isavo ka chimo cha maduva azvo zvino zvauri vathu vonova na kukonapedzeya kha thungo la madhi.
Government has prioritized provision of potable and clean water to all the communities with the presidential borehole sinking program ongoing across the country. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
Zimbabwe and Egypt continue to foster bilateral relations in various areas of cooperation.
Zimbabwe and Egypt continue to solidify their economic relations as witnessed in various sectors of the economy. The two countries have cemented synergies in energy, agriculture, health and construction, among others. This emerged at the Egypt National Day commemorations in Harare this Tuesday, where Zimbabwe's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Mr. Frederick Shala, highlighted the significance of cooperation between the two nations.
We wish to reaffirm our commitment as Zimbabwe to strengthen the bonds of friendship with Egypt. Let us build up upon the foundation of trust and cooperation that our forebears laid before us. Together, we will strive to create a better world where nations, irrespective of their size or stature, work hand in hand for all, leaving no one and no place behind.
Egypt's ambassador to Zimbabwe, Ms. Sawa Muafi, reaffirmed her country's commitment towards escalating the good relations which her country has maintained with Zimbabwe.
Our Egyptian construction tycoons are here participating in the development of this lovely nation. The Egyptian medicine is now available in government hospitals all over Zimbabwe. Cooperation in the field of health between the two countries is hiking.
The Egypt National Day, which is celebrated on the 23rd of July each year, coincides with the annual commemoration of the Egyptian Revolution of 1952 that ended the kingdom to the modern Republic of Egypt. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
And that'll be all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigele Maposta. Zane and Joyce will now take on over from Pocket Hill. My name is Sibigele again. Good evening.
Many thanks, Sibugila. And to the Montrose team, we bring it back to the capital, where Gurwe district is undergoing massive environmental degradation characterized by siltation and pollution of water bodies due to illegal chrome mining activities in the area.
Despite spirited efforts to halt unauthorized chrome mining in Gurwe district and Vorwe to conserve the environment, illegal miners continue to wreak havoc in the area. A new concern has emerged following revelations that farmers are now collaborating with miners to undertake illegal mining ventures at their farms.
It is a reminder that is we are warning this in terms of the Environmental Management Act, SI 7 of 2007, which talks about prescribed activities undergoing an EIA process. Further to that, we expect these farmers, before they start doing any exploration or any mining, they should have papers from the Ministry of Mines, whether be special grants or certificates of registration from the Ministry of Mines.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police has previously launched a blitz in the affected areas, leading to the recovery of equipment such as drums, compressors, pipes and water pumps. However, the illegal miners from as far as Mbire, Mzarabani and Mount Darwin have once again invaded the area. Tapiwa Machemeze, ZBC News, Kuruwe.
We now take you beyond our country's borders, where the death toll from the 2 landslides in southern Ethiopia has risen to more than 100 people, with warning that the numbers could increase.
Reports say at least 150 bodies have been recovered from 2 villages. Authorities say the first landslide was triggered by heavy rains in a remote region of Gofar zone on Monday, and the second one buried people who had gathered to help. Search and rescue operations are underway. Ethiopia's southern region has experienced landslides previously, with at least 32 people killed in 2018 after 2 separate incidents within a week of each other.
Palestinian factions have signed a national unity agreement aimed at maintaining Palestinian control over Gaza once Israel's war on the enclave ends. The deal was finalized this Tuesday in China after 3 days of intensive talks and lays the groundwork for an interim national reconciliation government to rule post-war Gaza. The agreement was signed by long-term rivals Hamas and Fatah, as well as 12 other Palestinian groups. Reconciliation between Hamas and Fatah would be a key turning point in internal Palestinian relations. The 2 main Palestinian political parties in the Palestinian territory have been bitter rivals since conflict arose in 2006, after which Hamas seized control of Gaza.
United States Vice President Kamala Harris says she has secured enough support from Democratic delegates to become the party's nominee for the upcoming presidential election. Over 1,900 delegates have pledged to back Harris, securing her the number needed to win the nomination on the first ballot. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is among those who endorsed her, urging the party to unify and resoundingly defeat former President Donald Trump, the Republican presidential nominee. The Democratic National Committee will determine the party's presidential nominee during the August convention, with Harris looking forward to formally accept the nomination.
The main news takes a breather. We'll be back shortly with the latest in business.
Where the sun kisses the earth lies a world of endless opportunity.
Here, amidst the vibrant colors and lively exchanges, the spirit of abundance lives. Allow yourself the opportunity to connect and innovate. See the future of your business at the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show.
Filled with ideas, new and radical, that are cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, and nurturing our future. From agriculture to agribusiness, and from agricultural education to agri-tourism, every sector finds a place to flourish here, where companies unveil their latest innovations and network with current and potential markets. SAS 2024, where the future of all business sectors is being written today.
Welcome back from the break, and thank you for staying with us. We jump straight into our business news, where local construction firms have commended the Second Republic for granting them opportunities in undertaking major national projects, thereby showcasing Zimbabwean construction industry capacity.
The Zimbabwe Building Contractors Association ZBCA has lauded government for their trust in local firms to carry out several infrastructure development projects countrywide, with Zimbabwe witnessing a construction boom never experienced in the country's history. Introducing the new presidium at a news conference held in Harare this Monday, newly elected ZBCA President Dr. Tinashe Manzungu revealed that their membership has grown over the last 5 years by over 150%.
Our membership from our survey was around 250, somewhere there. And mostly these were category C contractors. And coming to fast forward to 2024, our membership now stands at 500. Whatever is happening now is happening because of the new trajectory, the reviewed refocus that has been put forward by His Excellency, and through his own ministries that have actually dreamed of having a 5-year strategy under NDS 1.
ZBCA's Senior Vice President, Mr. Gerald Chupuma, said by entrusting local companies, the quality of work has improved, creating huge capacity in the industry.
You can also attest to that the number of shoddy workmanship that is happening, the number is decreasing. So that's a plus side. And this has been attributed to what the government has done by empowering local contractors. The more work that we get, the better we become.
In 2018, government took a paradigm shift by engaging local companies to carry out huge construction projects, including the Harare-Masvingo Bridge Highway Rehabilitation, where in the past foreign entities dominated the local scene, stifling the growth and development of local enterprises. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe's national electronic payment system is celebrating a surge in digital transactions after the introduction of the Zimbabwe Gold ZiG currency.
Financial technology is rapidly transforming Zimbabwe's financial sector, with various innovations having been introduced over the years. The introduction of the ZiG in April has impacted positively on Zimbabwe's economy, with the latest confirmation coming from the electronic payment service providers who have recorded a jump in transactions. ZimSwitch Chief Executive Officer Mr. Zebron Chilakalaka told ZBC News this Monday on the sidelines of ZimSwitch Payments Conference in Victoria Falls that the new currency has brought confidence to the transacting public.
ZiG really had a very positive impact on our business in as far as restoring confidence in the local currency by the transacting public. So what we've seen from a business perspective is a sharp rise in transaction volumes. We did transition to ZiG on the 5th of April, but as soon as we went live, transactions started to spike, actually operating at levels that are above the ZWL. So it has had a huge impact of boosting our business, and we believe we are destined for much more volumes in terms of ZiG.
Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe confirmed the surge in digital transactions in the country.
The aggregated digital payments transactions for the 6 months ending 30 June 2024 have been on an upward trajectory at the backdrop of the introduction of the Zimbabwe gold currency ZiG, increasing monthly average of 33%, whilst volumes remained stable.
ZimSwitch is hosting a 2-day conference to seek ways of increasing financial access and convenience to the transacting public. The conference has attracted over 150 delegates from 10 countries. ZimSwitch is the central nervous system of Zimbabwe's digital transactions, facilitates secure and efficient transfer of funds between banks, mobile money operators, and other financial institutions. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
From business, we jump straight into the arts, where the Dominican Convent Junior School Choir has returned home to a hero's welcome after winning gold at the 2024 World Choir Games held in Auckland, New Zealand.
The school choir returned home Monday evening after a successful performance at the just-ended World Choir Games, where they won a gold medal, flying the country's flag high. The choir performed in the Young Children's Choir category against 16 other choirs. Despite facing stiff competition, the girls were among the top 5 choirs who were awarded gold medals.
We went for the World Choir Games and we won the gold. It was pretty exhausting because we had to walk a lot of ways.
Competition was very tricky, but we really tried our best. We got ourselves a golden certificate.
Deputy Head Mrs. Edeli Nkomazana and Choir Director Byron Manake are elated by the choir's exceptional performance.
The most thrilling part is for us to come back to Zimbabwe with a gold medal. It was something else to represent Zimbabwe and also Africa.
It's a first for us as a school, as a country. There's nothing more I can say. We're just so excited.
The Dominican Convent Junior School Choir's achievement is testament to the success of government's heritage-based curriculum, which promotes skills and talent identification. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
A Dominican Convent Junior School Choir shining in foreign lands. Well done. We're off to a break now. We'll be back with sport and Lawrence Trusida, who will be on the other side. Stay with us.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in Zig is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system, experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with Zig. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with Zig.
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Get all your football needs with DSTV for Business. Visit dstv.com/business and find the package that suits your business. They'll love it here.
High quality alcohol-free red common bricks for sale at affordable prices. Visit U Dow Bricks at Chikurubi Prison Farm, Harare. We are also recruiting salespeople.
ZBC Current Affairs. Thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on Sports News this evening. My name is Lawrence Trusida. We start off with some good news coming through from the Warriors, where the Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA Normalization Committee is set to appoint a substantive Warriors coach, with the first round of interviews having been completed. In a statement, the Zimbabwe Football Governing Board reviewed that it conducted the first round of interviews this Monday, with 5 European coaches vying for the top job in the country. Those interviewed include 3 German coaches, 2002 AFCON winning coach with Cameroon, Winfried Schaefer, Michael Nissa, and Anthony Hay, with a Spaniard Marcelo Barcelos and a Brazilian Gerard Nassa completing the 5-man shortlist. Additionally, there will be another round of interviews scheduled to take place over the next few days to evaluate each candidate's qualifications, vision, and ability to lead the national team. The Warriors have not been under substantive coach since Croatian Zdravko Logarusic was sacked in September 2021, with 3 interim coaches taking over after the country's suspension from international football was lifted. So definitely hope that some good news will come through for the Warriors as they prepare to get into the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers scheduled for the early September. Moving on to the Olympics, Team Zimbabwe announced their flag bearer for the 2024 Olympic Games, with the global showpiece set to erupt on Friday in Paris.
The 33rd edition of the Olympics promises to be a spectacular event, with a vociferous crowd expected to attend the ceremony, a stark contrast to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which took place in a near-empty venue due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, 204 participating countries will battle for honors in 32 sporting courts, and Zimbabwe will be among those vying for medals. With the games set to kick off this Friday, Team Zimbabwe is poised to announce their flag bearer this Wednesday when a number of athletes arrive for the games. Team Zimbabwe chef de mission Ringisaima Pondera has left the athletes to decide for themselves who they want to be the poster athlete of the games. With the most of the athletes arriving after the official opening, it looks most likely that one of the swimmers, Denison Ciprianos, an African Games gold medalist, Oropage van der Vesuizen, who bagged silver at the Continental Games, will be the flag bearers. At the 2020 Tokyo Games, swimmer Donata Katai and rower Peter Pesal-Gilpin were the flag bearers. Record breaker Kirsty Coventry led the nation at 2 Olympic Games before becoming a Minister of Sport, Arts and Recreation. Meanwhile, the United States of America have a legendary basketball power forward, LeBron James, a 4-time NBA champion and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, as their flag bearer. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
From the multi-sport event, we move on to the Rugby Africa Cup, where the Sabres have made one change to their team, set to take on Namibia in the semi-finals of the Rugby Africa Cup in Kampala, Uganda this Wednesday.
Flanker Brian Nyaude has been ruled out of the Zimbabwe senior rugby team, the Sabres Africa Cup semi-final clash against Namibia on Wednesday. The second rower failed to recover from a knock suffered in the Uganda clash on Saturday.
So Ghost had a collision in the game against Uganda. He a massive cut under his nose. No concussion was done, but because he was on the ground for longer than anticipated, he was instructed to have a HIA test, which he didn't pass, and then he had a second test, which he also didn't pass. So he's been ruled out for the next game.
Nyaude will be replaced by Dylan Utete, who is set to make his debut for the senior national team. Namibia has always stood in the way of Zimbabwe's qualification to the World Cup, but there's hope that the Sabres will rewrite the script with a victory in the Rugby Africa Cup.
No, the boys are looking strong. Had a bit of a tough day today. Came full pumping, all the might of Uganda. But we're very excited for Wednesday. It's been, I think, 22 years. The last time a Zimbabwean team beat the Namibians. I've never been in them, and so we're looking very forward to this match. It should be a cracker.
A quarter-final victory over Uganda saw Zimbabwe progressing to Wednesday's semi-final, where they'll face Namibia, who beat Burkina Faso in another quarter-final.
Moving on to football news now, Highlanders head coach Kevin Kaindu has implored his charges to forget past victories and focus on their away tie to third-placed Simba Bora, set to be played at Wadzanai Stadium this Wednesday.
The weekend honeymoon is over for Bulawayo Giants. Highlanders walked away with bragging rights against the Bulawayo Chiefs in a league encounter at the weekend. Boss will make the long trip to Shamva for a potentially thrilling encounter against an expensively assembled Simbabora. On paper, the hosts are favourites, having managed to snatch talent on the domestic scene and are having a good run in their second season in the top flight. Now, with 2 wins on the trot, head coach Kelvin Kayendo is praying for consistency to mount a serious title challenge. Kayendo also entrusted Reward Musa in goal, with the promising youngster keeping a clean sheet. Premier League action will on Wednesday see Bikita Minerals hosting Capes United at Isakuva Stadium. Herenta will square off with Arno Movers at Rufaro Stadium. Defending champions against the Platinum Stars host ZPC Kariba will tell 1 entertain Greenfield at Bata Stadium as Bulawayo Chiefs face Wange at Lufeve. On Thursday, Chicken in Dead FC Platinum at Lufeve, while Chegodu Pirates host Manika Diamonds at Baobab, as Dynamos hope to continue on a high when they face Yada at Rufaro Stadium. Mtokozi Stube, ZPC News, Bulawayo.
That story on football news, putting a wrap on sports news for this evening. It's now time for the weather update.
Greetings and welcome. It is time for your evening weather report and forecast. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba. Well, sunny weather prevailed across the country this afternoon. Though it started off cold in the morning, it became mild to warm by afternoon. Turning to the satellite images, this afternoon they show mostly clear skies across Zimbabwe. Tomorrow, we expect again clear skies right across the whole country, starting off cold in the morning, becoming mild to warm later. Now for the temperatures in detail, the capital city Harare, I expect a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 28. Kobulawayo, 12 and 31. 7 and 29 is expected for Gweru. Mutare, 9 and 29. Kwekwe, 9 and 29 again. Kadoma, 9 and 30. Masvingo, 9 at first, becoming 32 in the afternoon. Chinoi, 7 and 30. Lupane, 9 and 32. Bindura, 8 and 30. Marondera, 5 and 28. Gwanda with 9 and 32 degrees Celsius. Victoria Falls, 8 at first, 30 maximum. Kariba, 14 and 31. Great Zimbabwe, 9 and 32. Nyanga, 5 and 24. 7 and 31 is expected at Matopos. Chimanimani, 11 and 27. Day after tomorrow, we expect partly cloudy conditions over the southeastern parts of the country, particularly Masvingo and southern parts of Manicaland, while the remainder of the country should be mostly sunny, cold at first, becoming mild to warm later. That does it in tonight's edition of the Weather Report and Focus. Let's make a date again tomorrow at the same time. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
Well, many thanks to Benjamin and the Med Services Department. And that was our last port of call. From all of us here, it's good night.
Good night.